to Charlie Throne.
I thought I was going to be looking for somebody to take his place. Okay. But good morning. This is one of the fun things that I do in life. So with the role I have, I get to go to a lot of meetings, talk to a lot of folks, but to be able to talk to restaurant managers is the joy of my life, and I'll tell you why. So I started as a crew person 48 years ago. I walked into a restaurant, applied for a job. I was 18. I was going to college. I was thinking about dropping out of college. I wasn't sure, and trying to make some decisions in my life. And I got hired by McDonald's. And I wasn't sure if I was doing it for a career or if I was doing it just to get a job and move on. 3 months later, I was full-time working with the operator I started with. I got married at 18. And about 4 months later, became a father. So a hell of a ride, a hell of a beginning. You'll have to think about that one for a minute. I was a restaurant manager on my 21st birthday, managed 3 different restaurants. Every one of those experiences taught me something. I was in small town. I come from a small town, about 5,000 people. Then one day somebody thought I could run the inner city, so I ran that for a little while, and then back out in suburbia. All those experiences teach you something in the role that you have. But it's the role that, and the importance of the role. You got 2 sets of skills when you're a restaurant manager. You've got soft skills that you learn dealing with customers, okay, and dealing with employee demands. And between us, sometimes customers can be a pain in the ass. Now, the operators don't know that, but I know at the street we know that customers not always right, but they are always right. Okay? But everybody's got stress in their day. And when you have stress, who do you want to take it out? So it's understanding those soft skills, being able to deal with the employees, and guess what? You may not believe this, but 48 years ago, we had drama in the restaurants, just like you have drama. Okay? It was the names had changed, but the issues were all the same. Okay? So you got to have those soft skills. You've also got to have the hard skills. Okay? Carlos said it's not a dirty word. You got to make sure you understand how to make profit. You have to understand how to plan and how to organize. So in the role that you have, you learn through experiences. And everything that happens, you have to check yourself and say, if I had to do it again, how would I do that situation? If I had to scold this person, how would I do it? Okay? And the one thing I'll guarantee you, it will happen again. It'll be a different name, but it will be the same situation. And that's how you learn as a human being and in any role, because the situations will repeat itself over the years in a lot of different ways. So what's changed in the restaurant? I was talking to Ken Cadis earlier, and so when I go back to when I was a restaurant manager and when he was, when you ran a restaurant, you opened, it was pretty slow when you opened the doors. And then about 11:30, you were doing a lot of prep work. You got slammed for lunch. And then at 2 o'clock, it died down, 1:30. And then you prepped, you dealt with people, you dealt with different situations, you did the ordering, you did all that. And then you got hit for dinner, and then the nighttime kind of slowed off. Today, the world is different in business. You open the doors, you're pretty steady all day long. So your job has gotten more complicated. So you don't have those quiet periods that you had then. Now, knowing what I know today and the role that I have, if I were looking back and coaching a younger me, what would I tell myself? So this new manager that comes in, general manager, comes in, and his name is Charlie, I'd sit him down and say, okay. The first thing I'd say, do a deep analysis on your restaurant. If I've learned anything over all these years, the best critic of you is you. We're all tough on ourselves. Okay? I'm not saying you have to put yourself down, but go look at your own restaurant. Okay? Just like you got there today. So you've been a manager there for 2 years, you walk in and say, okay, if I just took it, what wouldn't I be happy with? I'm not happy with my night crew. I'm not happy with the cleanliness behind the kitchen, whatever it is. And can you use a third party? Okay? You know, and the OA can help a little bit, but the OA, you're going to hide some stuff. Okay? You know, I know you don't do that, but I did. Okay? You're going to tell them some things, but not all the truth. Okay? None of you do GI parties ahead of time or when the big shots come. Okay, I get it. Okay? Stuff hasn't changed. Okay? But I would do a deep analysis of what am I happy with and what am I not. And then you have to start to build a plan. Okay? You have to sit back down and say, you know what? And my reputation when I was a restaurant manager was I was the guy that could go into the bad restaurants and get it to a B. I could turn a restaurant pretty quick. I just don't know if I had the patience to make it an A. Okay? And I knew who I was. And so the bad news is I got to go to other bad stores. Okay? And help turn them around. But then you learn over time it's about having systems. So you write a plan. You don't have to do it in a day or a week. But most of you, okay, were like when I was a manager. Once you get in the door, you get sucked in. Okay? Stuff is happening. And you're just jumping in. You're taking care of customers. You're solving a problem here. You've got this. And you have to make sure you give yourself some quiet time. I know you got kids, you got a spouse, you got car problems, you got a lot of things in life. But to be the best you can be, take some time. Doodle when you're sitting here, when you're at home, when you're driving. What are the things you'd like to get done? And how do you build a plan to get it done? Because if you look at systems and routines, it's a bunch of pieces. So I'll give you an example. I'm in restaurants a lot, okay? And one of the most amazing things I see when I'm in restaurants is cleanliness issues on the stains, okay? And most times I amaze people because I can tell them what the problem is. And I'll look around a little bit and I'll say, you know, this store you guys traditionally have some cleanliness problems? Yeah, we and I go, it's your exhaust fans. What? Okay. You know, they think I forgot what it's like to run a restaurant. Most of our cleanliness problems in a restaurant is not extracting enough grease through the exhaust fans and crack those. Get cold weather, those crack. They've been there for a while, they crack, they slip. You're not exhausting the grease. If you're having to keep cleaning your restaurant and you get that greasy feel on the floor, and it's not a bad maintenance person. You may be beating on them and telling them how bad they are. So it's understanding the core roots. And I'm surprised at a lot of cases, a lot of the folks who've been around a while don't go to the core of the problem. If you have to keep fixing the door because the handle keeps breaking, let's figure out why is the door hung that way and how do I stop that? And again, by not having enough time because you're jumping in, spend a few minutes. Have a cup of coffee, a Coke, a Diet Coke, and just think about the business. And you have to decide where that is. Is that at home before you start your day? Is that after dinner when you sit and get a few minutes? Can you do it in the restaurant? Every restaurant's different. But I know when I look at the success of the best managers out there, systems and routines, being able to delegate and follow up, always train somebody. Always train somebody. If you're doing something, show somebody. If you want to learn something, teach somebody else. The way to really learn something, okay, well, how do you go from restaurant manager, college dropout, married at 18, to be an executive? You learn, and you teach. Teaching puts it in your memory. You can learn it, but when you're forced to teach somebody, now you've got it. And there's an enjoyment and a satisfaction. So always teach and organize yourself. Okay? Most times you write the weekly schedule, and your schedule is, I'm going to be on 8 to 5, 4 to close. You're going through that. Okay, but what are you going to do when you get there? Have you really looked at, okay, when I get there, I want to spend a half hour to get this done? Okay. And you got to be careful because the business can suck you in. You have to decide, am I doing that at the restaurant? Do I meet just before? So organize yourself, get yourself prepared. When you think about April, you should be thinking about it now. What do I got to get done in April? The weather's been bad. Do I have to do any kind of spring up? How's my staffing levels? Plan now. First week of the month, I got to get this. 2 things I got to get done. Second week, I got to get these 2. So if you just take some time and not play it as it comes to you, get control of your life. Because being a restaurant manager can be rewarding. It also can be hell if the restaurant's running you. And we've all been there. I mean, in my day, it wasn't unusual to close and have to open the next morning. Okay? Somebody called in, you're at the restaurant closing, okay, I guess I'm opening. And you wouldn't go home, you'd sleep in the crew room. Okay? Today, security would yell at me for that, but you know what I mean? And the last piece I'll tell you is make sure your people know you care. You know, hallelujah. Take care of your people. Know something about them. The enjoyment that we all get out of life is the impact that you will have on people inside that restaurant. I checked into a hotel in Washington, D.C. 20 years ago or so. And the person that checked me in looked at me, and he'd seen my name, and he said, "You work for McDonald's, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I was a swing manager for you in Bangor, Maine, 10 years ago. And I want to tell you what you helped me with when I was learning how to be a swing manager." I went, "Geez," he said, "I hope I was pretty good." Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to have a room next to the kitchen with all the noise. But there's nothing more rewarding that you can give back is by caring about people, listening to their issues, coaching them. Some of it's drama. It takes time. But at the end of the day, people want to work for you. You know, it's the ultimate. You're shorthanded, and you call somebody in. Are they going to do you a favor? That's the ultimate of, I don't work for the operator. I don't work for the brand. I work for you. And that is the power that you have as a restaurant manager. And you have to grow and learn through it. Most of us didn't go through a MBA in business school and come in trained how to be managers. Most of us came in with a love for the business, a love to take care of the customer, and also a desire to grow. And if you can make all of that happen, it is the most enjoyable career that you can have. So have a great day. I love you. Thank you.